The Titan exotic helmet, the Khepri's Horn, was introduced into Destiny 2 at the launch of the Curse of Osiris DLC. The exotic perk on the Khepri's Horn, being Solar Rampant, states that solar damage kills will recharge your barricade, which will then unleash a blast of solar energy when deployed. Let's see what this actually means. Getting a kill with a solar weapon, whether it be an energy weapon or power weapon, or any ability from the Sunbreaker subclass, you will receive a chunk of barricade energy back. The amount of energy you get back, I would say about 15% per solar kill. Even though there is no message to suggest the exotic perk is working for you, there does seem to be an internal cooldown on the barricade. Using a solar auto rifle, scout or hand cannon shouldn't cause any problems, but destroying an entire pack of enemies with a solar rocket will most likely be wasteful. The other part of the exotic perk, the solar blast that your barricade creates, is also pretty decent. It effectively throws out a thermite grenade in front of you when you deploy it, which does have some good application in PvE and definitely in the Crucible. Since this exotic is working with solar damage, it would be easier to assume that you are locked into using Sunbreaker with this exotic, and that's not strictly true. Getting solar kills with actual weapons will still cool down your barricade, regardless of the subclass you're playing. Also, the fire pulse wave will still trigger from the barricade even if you're playing as a striker or a sentinel. So given that this exotic is partially neutral, would I recommend using it with the other subclasses? Not particularly, since I believe the best build is by far the Code of the Siegebreaker in the Sunbreaker skill tree. Anyway, before I get into the skill trees, let's quickly finalise the modification slot. The default mod on the Khepri's Horn is an energy bracket mod, so I was very quick to replace this with a resilience mod, but a solar paragon mod would also be acceptable. I mentioned that my preferred skill tree was the Code of the Siegebreaker, and you'll see why when we get into the perks. The sunspot build has been changed with the Curse of Osiris DLC, absolutely for the better. Your exploding melee attack, health regen, and sunspot creation from grenades and melee kills still works the same, except with this build, the fire pulse wave from deploying your shield can also create a sunspot, and heal you on a kill. The biggest change that Bungie made to the sunspot build was with the Sun Warrior perk. Before the update, you needed to stand in your sunspot to get the cooldown bonuses to your abilities. That's still the case, but now you can pass through your sunspot and get a timer on the Sun Warrior perk, allowing you to be far more mobile, and still get the benefits of your sunspots. So where does the skill tree leave us? Solar kills will cool down our barricade, all of our solar abilities have the potential to create sunspots, which will further cool down our abilities and provide us with health regen. This is all sounding pretty appealing for a lot of PvE content, so let's start by reviewing that environment. Public events and the Heroic Strike playlist are going to be solid choices for the sunspot build, since those activities can accommodate an offensive playstyle, where you can use your sunspots to your advantage. Locking down an area, such as a glimmer extraction, or even just keeping enemies off you, sunspots will provide a protective field that has the power to heal you too. Having a barricade that also contributes to this build is just making it even better. And given how fast you can get your barricade back with simple solar weapon kills, you should have very little downtime on your sunspots. So PvE with this build is a definite yes. I would suggest going with Code of the Siegebreaker, but honestly, the Khepri's Horn can work with any subclass, so maybe try it with the Code of the Fireforge too, mostly since this tree is pretty good at the moment. So now for PvP, and again, the ability to send out a fire pulse wave from your barricade has plenty of utility if you can position it right. As for damage, it pretty much acts like a thermite grenade, so if an enemy completely stands in it, they will take quite a lot of damage, typically more than half of their health bar. It might just be due to players not being aware of this exotic yet, but myself and my clanmate Legend were causing all sorts of havoc with Khepri's Horn and barricades in the Crucible. As time goes on, I imagine players will become more wary of Titans wearing the Khepri's Horn, and they will try not to stand in front of them when they're deploying a shield, but for now, the Horn is pretty fun in the Crucible. I wouldn't say it's by any means broken, and it can be countered fairly easily, but for suppressing enemies in a cave or a doorway or even off objectives, the Khepri's Horn can help you quite a bit. The choices for build are a bit more open for the Crucible, but I will still roll in with a sunspot build with moderate success. So anyway, what do you guys think of the Khepri's Horn? Do you think it's a good inclusion into the Titan's arsenal? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys.